And here we go with the third game of the third week's round between Freakhouse in the south corner with Freaking as the Dark Elves here in the turquoise and Valdima as the Dwarves in the blue corner, versus the Russian communities, Dwarf Heretic in, I'm assuming in the northeast, as well as Frizz Forever with the Dark Elves and the Guardian of Nord this time around in the northwest. This is a 2v2, since it is the Team League after all. The third match will always be a 2v2. It always confuses me that he calls the weekly rounds basically matches, but there we are. So I'm not quite sure what to call the third game basically in a series is going to be a 2v2. There we go. Spectre versus Spectre, high octane combat here. Who gets the better slow? He could potentially probably like slow and run away. So we're on the Wasteland of Zul here, which is going to be interesting because with all 4 slots occupied, you essentially are leveled down, brought down to 2 sectors per player, then 1 sector in the middle, and 1 additional one on the side sectors there. Of course, that's assuming everything is going to be split even, which also results in much lower hero levels, but this map has a decent amount of creeps to over-level completely in a 1v1. So they should be able... I'm not sure how quickly you can get to level 5 on this, but it should be still in decent speed. We still see some 1v1 tactics coming in, so these boys are gonna get pulled by... Yeah, apologies if I can't keep track of all the names.
We're under attack.
Because like you don't get the name displayed if you just click on it. I believe that's... that was Dwarf Heretic, yeah. Dwarf Heretic is the human. Oh, nice. Actually pulled him directly into the stonecutter, which is nice, because all the dangerous, or like all the juicy bits are here, and that's a lot of dwarfs to go through. But some relatively quick reaction time here, since he can't really go anywhere out on the map right there. Some Dark Elf versus Dark Elf scouting matches in the middle. There we go. We've also seen these guys pulled over. Ooh, actually nearly killing his own hero there. So taste of his own medicine there for the Heretic. That's some decent luck there with the pulse. Then again. No, never mind. The workers are going down heavily over here, and no bell has been rung. So the damage has been done. Definitely a lot more than on the side over here. Oof. And our Hierophant nearly going down here. If he's not careful. Ooh. Oh no! The 3 HP. Oh, he stops the loot. The greed. The greed. But it looks like he just had enough wherewithal to get away from there. Similar story over here, but a lot much cleaner cleanup there by the Heretic. And now nobody knows what to do anymore because no one ever plays 2v2s. Especially on a map like this. And it looks like the scout's still alive, so that's pretty nice. So that's some tremendous damage done here. Oh, I would love it if the scout would get a higher Hierophant. But that's still about 5 attacks for him, the poor boy, since he doesn't do any damage. But it's Frizz Forever. Is going for the top, the Medusas pretty early. Whereas the other Guardian of Nor by Saturas.
Understood. We will do as you say.
No, Valdima. My apologies. Coming in right there. I'm not quite I know that you can't have players play the 1v1s in succession. I'm not quite sure about the rules about the 2v2s. If this would have been needed to be different players here for our northern Rus community boys. But that's an issue I'll let Xset decide. Because I'm not completely up to snuff here. We'll try our best to keep track of everybody here. Alright, things are heating up in the middle. Some clearance has been done. Ah, it's one of those maps where the creep counters don't vanish. Oh, a nice attempt there at micro. But the Medusa Stalker just said no. Explodes them both in a frosty embrace of death. Oh, they're so frozen. But now everybody's frozen and slowed down here. Do they have like an aura? Or is it just their attack? Ah, it actually looks to be just an Impaler aura. That's interesting. Do we see any quick tech ups on a smaller map like that to get an edge? Nope, not as of yet. So at the moment it's a big budget blowout in the tier 1 department. Not that much team play yet from either side. There was some try to coordination here. Where is our like our Frizz hero? Oh, there he is, hidden under the goddamn counter there. So there is some team play going on, which is nice. Keep in mind this one can't be controlled, so whoever clicks it last has control over the Godstone. And since I've actually never... Yeah, like, I think Godstones between shared team players can still be walked past between. So that's pretty good. So I think both of them should be able to send stuff into the middle to reinforce. Not entirely sure if only one player can activate it at a time. But I wouldn't think so. Yeah, these two are together. See some full bite action there. And... who's the dwarf player? Mr. Freaking, sorry. I spent some time in base recuperating. But that's the middle soon cleared out, and then things should start heating up. We already have some nice outposts here for the Russian Alliance. Russian community, sorry. Coming up in the north. So that might give them an edge here. And I believe they've definitely gotten the better part of the creeps. Dwarf Heretic is rank 4, hasn't spent some points yet. Has 3 fire bombs and a level 2 crossbow. Level 3 crossbow. So at least he does have an equip situation here. But that's a lot of units for the Russian gamers. Easily chasing off the Freakhouse. Let's check the
outpost has been built. We've expanded our borders.
They do have grabbed the side sectors. But, yeah. Sector-wise, they're still 2 down. That could become a problem. Flags coming up. Town center upgrading. So both of them going to 2 relatively early. And the lower right boy is already there. Who I believe is Valdima. Yes! Hey, I got it right. Okay, I wanted to quickly check. Okay, no. So... experience is not shared, it's just within your own faction that it is completely shared. But similar hero levels for all of them. Level 4. Pretty standard builds here. I can't spend too much time on this, otherwise we're gonna miss stuff. Pretty heavy on the deep waters here. For Heretic.
Building completed.
And some, yeah, pretty classic brute force. Debilitating blow is something you don't necessarily often see. But the sacrifices should be very powerful in team games. There are also no real faction synergies that I can spot here. I don't believe they're locked to play the same faction every time. But for example, you could technically combo dwarves with their pyromancers late game with the oilage of the greenskins. Or the orcs, better said. To get some extra damage out of some of your units. Just to think of one iteration there. But some wyverns are getting cleared out. Yeah, looks like everybody's pretty happy creeping at the moment. First siege attempt of the game. Easily dissuaded here by the amount of crossbows unloading into the spoders. Level 4 versus 6 though. What's he done with level 6? Got an Earth Shatter, nothing else. Just full on replenishing strikes, and again Hymn of Retaliation very early. Without the ultimate being picked, so he's not gonna get much worth out of that one for the time being. Some spiders going down here. Level 6 for our boy there. Not too shabby. Let's have a quick count on stoneholes. So we've got only 7 axe wielders here for our boy there in the southwestern corners. Really need some more stoneholes to pump out some units. He's floating a little bit.
Building complete.
1 Hall of Pain for Valdima. We do have the forge and the refinery up though. And some iron mines are producing stuff as well. Dwarf Heretic on the other side, also only on double barracks. No
Our allies are under attack.
forge or anything to speak of. Yeah, those are allied forces. And Frizz Forever, double Halls of Pain, Dark Temple, Refinery, and Spirit of Souls coming up. Good stuff there. And thank you, Frizz, for the follow there. Keep in mind, no spoilerinos until we're done. All Medusas have slow auras. Thank you, Ra. I was always wondering, the first time I encountered it, I thought it was like a terrain feature with sand or something. And then never thought about it a second time. But now we know for certain. I just always thought it was like the slow spell from the Stalker Medusas. Never realized that it's permanent. Getting some value out of the 1% damage retaliation there. Value being a little bit ironic. But yeah, northern forces are accumulating. But not quite sure if he sent it in with Godstone there. Yeah, Godstone's popping up. Nice moves there to help each other out. Spider Avengers are assembling. Teleporting in and deep striking. Oh, those poor axe wielders are on very low health. That could be a big... Yep, here it comes. Earth Shatter! Gets cancelled a little bit too much there. The first one would have been pretty damn good. In fact, teleports out. Did he fall at some point? Or did he just go back to... He probably just went shopping. Very slow to get going here. So we've got, for Valdima, the tier 3 shield. We've got an unequipped ring there. We have a health ring. And Neura's command being purchased over an armor or block. Interesting. So he just wants that full damage potential. We do have Mark of Corruption to keep the silence of the soul transformation going for a little bit longer. Also, the Mark of Corruption could probably be pretty well combined with the Reaper if the other player would choose to do so, since it does spread his afflictions as well. But that's a lot of piercing damage to end one of the players here. Maybe they're just looking for some damage. Big spider and sleeper army, which is pretty good. Let's see, do they have the upgrade? Looks like he's working on it. Almost there. Looks like he... unfortunately we're lacking the souls for it. So that's gonna take a while unless he has them in the bank. And they're just being processed. So we could... Does the Wolfguard Commander have her aura ability? No, she does not. So can't give all of these piercing units pure damage for some siege / extra damage on all of those units. But just the virtue of this massed amount of ranged firepower, especially in a choke point like this, will do tremendous works. But they seem to be, since they're disengaging, they get whacked a lot. So they're starting to lose a lot of their forces here. Also looks like the Guardian of Nor here did some really good damage. So Mr. Freaking unfortunately down to 20 pop cap, still floating quite heavily. Valdimar on the 92 there. Not floating quite as much, but he's running out of wood as a Dark Elf, which is not surprising considering the kind of sectors he has.
Brothers,
Very hard
your will.
to get wood on this map if you get locked out of the middle / the other territories. Heretic has a lot of stuff at the bank. Looks like he forgot to build some billets, so he's almost pop capped.
Building completed.
Drill alt, keep pushing Arbalesters. We have like a couple token keepers. No siege engines again. To make this here a bit quicker. Tempo is getting beetles. We're floating a hell of a lot of food, but not that many halls of pain either yet. And again, we don't have that many workers. Well, they do have more territories. Getting some extra value down here. I definitely didn't forget it. It just didn't reactivate when we switched over earlier. Because I have it set up so that when I deactivate the UI, that it should on a reappliance it should actually bring that back. But for some reason OBS likes to bug out like that. But thanks for letting me know. Spire of Soul. It's really hard. I really need some alliance coloring for 2v2 maps. Because it's really hard to keep track of who's fighting whom here. When all goes to ham, and it's not even that ham yet. Yeah, just to disengage, and despite having like the way bigger and higher tier army. So sleepers at least should have their upgrade by now. So that's nice. Still floating for the Northern Alliance. The Southern boys, finally some stoneholds and granite holes, but we're still not producing again. Classic mistake. We're also not spending our points here. Level 4, 2 points to go.
What do you need?
Building completed.
Anything special here? Not that I see.
We're being attacked.
So our Russian gamer is very hesitant to attack. Second ring could be equipped there as well. There you go. Finally have the Beacon of Immortality. So the Hymn of Retaliation can be now applied to all of the piercing damage there. We'll see if that's about to happen.
Building completed.
There we go. It has been popped, but it looks like it has hit mostly the spiders. Nice teleport into the back though, right on top of the ranged line, which is gonna be under a decent amount of pressure. Only one beetle so far. Looks like the iron income hasn't been steady enough. Yeah, remapping like 2v2 builds that have to be different from 1v1 builds just because you have like a lot less map. People are not used to it. Guardian of Nor might go down here and does indeed. That was the one for Valdima. And our Northern Russian alliance seems to have been pushed back. Gave too much time to get these sleepers rolling, etc. And with a nice teleport there onto the back line. Decent stuff. Nicely done. Unfortunately, some of them are just gonna walk past here. Don't seem to be hunted down, so should get away. Cheeky harvester here. Can he steal some? Yeah, there's a decent amount of souls there.
Building complete.
Yep. Unfortunately, forgets it before he can sneak pull all of those away. One of the reasons why Dark Elves should be pretty powerful in 2v2s is the high amount of souls. Essentially, it's just an endless resource for them. It gives you a lot of spicy units. We have a really big lack of siege. In 2v2, I feel like you need a lot more siege earlier on. We see some now, so that's good. Coming out now. Nicely out of the middle, so that's cuts down on some travel time, so those choices are good. All the souls are flying into the spire. Looking good, looking good. So maybe the next attack will meet with some more success. Our boy
We're under attack.
Freaking is a bit passive, I feel. He's pop capped again, so he really needs to get going and do something. He's locked down out on 3 sectors. Needs tech level 3 to upgrade his outpost further. He does have a... needs to get
Fire
improved
up the
infrastructure
ovens.
there
We need more charcoal.
to get his pop cap up and running, since he can't upgrade his outposts any further. And Valdima wasn't very considerate not giving up one of these side sectors. Then again, the Dark Elves do benefit more from iron than the dwarves. At least in the short term.
They're attacking the
The dwarves still need some to level up, and as far as I know, there's no way of transferring resources in the game yet. But there is some in the side sectors. Oh, poor Hierophant has no armor upgrade, so it's just going down with a boulder to the face. Feels bad for her, man. But this very heavy tier 1 melee army from Valdima is actually carrying the game here against this massive archer spam. So that's pretty nicely done by him. He's actually 2v1ing it at the moment. Very impressive. But here comes a massive Earth Shatter. And the Valdima's Guardian of North did went down there. I was looking at the wrong one. I thought this was his. So he decides to pull back, but that was, I want to say, a pretty efficient trade from him there. Nicely done, but he is running out of resources. So if his enemies keep the pressure up, should be good to go. I have...
building completed.
Where's Freaking's army?
Let's get to it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, does look like he sent some of them in there. Okay, yeah, he did send some to the Godstone. Sorry, I missed that. So it wasn't quite a 2 versus 1. But he didn't bring the golems along, so it didn't... which would have been quite helpful here with their cleave. And oh, the critical mass of beetles is coming in.
Our allies are under attack.
I think they have their upgrade. Nah, Urshadow was pretty weak sauce there. Border Fortress will now go down. Beetles have pretty good DPS in the magic damage department,
We need to improve
as
our
well as some backup siege weapons, which was nice. Ooh, Trixie Scions, as well as some Striders now up.
troops. We need to improve our
Tier 3 army is well underway there, but unfortunately they're getting a little bit blocked by everything that's going on.
We lost one of our sectors.
But oh, this is huge! They're all trapped there. That is a lot of Arbalesters gone. And even the hero goes down without much of doing anything there. Again, nicely played by Valdimar. Dwarf Heretic is trying to siege up north there with his little army as much as he can. Gets teleported on.
We're being attacked.
And decides that caution is the better part of valor. For good reason. But decent hold there. Down here. And the Scions, I mean, they're still available. 200 magic damage. Nothing to sniff at. In an AoE, by the way. Especially against the tier 1 spam. Which is... they're basically Banelings. Bit of a worse version than Banelings. With the upgrade, they are pretty useful, though. Will stun these units out for a couple seconds. I don't know if the splash damage will hit air. That would actually be very highly interesting. If that would be the case, they could be really good against Plague Beetles. Because they have no resistances, so two of Scions would get them down to 175 HP. We will see, we will see.
Huh?
Poor Hierophant isn't even level 5 yet after all this carnage. The hero just never where the action is.
Building completed.
That is pretty damn rough. Pretty indecisive here by Freaking. Level 5 for Valdimar at least.
Our research has
What did he
yielded
get
new
from this?
technology.
They went triple blocking momentum, has not picked up the soul shield. Which is interesting. We only have the plague field there. Very interesting. Also doesn't have the option to like heal his blob of tier 1 up. Which might be worth considering for the future. But 116 and 126 pop cap versus 50 and 168. With some tier 3 mixed in there. So Valdimar doing pretty well there.
The Queen has placed her trust in us.
Okay, we have overkill on the barracks department.
Our allies are under attack.
Earlier he didn't have enough, now he has too much. Still needs to build some billets. He is humans. He's one of the few people who just can go and get that 200 supply if they want to, especially with those kind of resources. Bit low on the wood, of course. Speaking of wood, probably could rip down the stone holes by now. Quadruple Dark Temple just to pump out them beetles. Yeah, only beetle upgrade, only wood upgrade. Nothing too fancy there by Fritz. Twisted One's coming online, 100 magic DPS on a 0.33 second attack speed. Not too shabby, especially good against heroes since they do drain focus points. Can be applicable against some other units, but usually it's not worth microing that. And also almost impossible to micro. Striders are in effect, they do not seem to have their bleeding upgrade, so they have to rely on the sleepers to get the bonus damage. But there are enough of those here to make that worth it. Nice watchtowers, by the way. Do seem to get some damage in. Unfortunately, with just one worker in there, there's not much happening. And there's no teleport incoming in from Heretic. He's just leaving Valdima to just die by the beetles. But then again, he also doesn't really have... Oh god, one hero died there.
At your command.
I keep thinking Dwarf Heretic is a dwarf, but he's not. He has nothing that can hit air. He lost all of his axe wielders. Rough times there. Valdima's going down. Let's check. Oh, down to 22 pop cap. That feels bad, man. This might be it. There's just so much stuff now coming in. Some emissaries getting some puny skeletons out. Unfortunately, they have very little HP and like a minuscule attack range or aggro range. So unfortunately, they don't actually do that much, except pulling off some fire. But if there's no army to draw the fire for that can do the DPS in the back line, it's actually not doing that much. And that looks like a pretty clean sweep for our Russian overlords in the north.
We're being
Took them a little while to get the right composition over, but nobody's used to 2v2. There we go, border fort is going down. There's a massive traffic jam. So many units. But I don't expect this to go on for much longer. Some nice purchases made there. Okay, the dwarves managed to take out this iron sector over on the left, but it's a little bit too late. We're losing way more valuable assets over here. They just get bullied by this one Guardian of Nor. Then again, they do like a decent amount of strike damage. But they have been debuffed by a third by the good old ability of the Guardian. Oh no! How can that be? Our Hierophant is still level 4. She has not been around for any of the fights at all. Just imagine the amount of carnage she could wreak here. Or she could have wrecked earlier with all these choke point tier 1 masters. Just imagine all the barrages going into that. Feels a little bit bad, man. Guardian of Nor is trying to suicide himself. Which won't work, by the way, if you want to just deny some XP. Oh, he actually went down to the capital destruction and not to damage there. So Valdimar's out of the fight, and GG has been called. GG, well played. And that's a 3-0 sweep for the Russian community. Well played to them. And well played to the others as well. Yeah, 2v2 needs a lot of practice. You need different build orders since the map is so limited. Ah, poor Freaking. I don't know if he just gave up very early or what happened there, but he was like so indecisive. He didn't build like sentries or anything to help out with the anti-air spam. The hero was just never around to fight. Really, really odd choices there. But good effort by Valdima. Held the line fairly long. Yeah, 241 kills for Valdimar. Very impressive there. And indeed, Fritz also carrying slightly there. But GG, well played. Oh, this just feels bad. Oh, poor boys. But keep at it, keep practicing. It's a harsh ladder out there, but it needs players. So thank you all for watching. That'll conclude this series. And tomorrow at Sunday at, I believe, 7 PM, I want to say. Let me double check. I believe he didn't take it.
Any bugger comes, I want to know about it.
Let me check. It's gonna be Team Cheese versus Heron. Are those... So Heron's Grass, constituting of Ra, Drakir, Esprimo, Pennywise, Victor, and Zizi, versus Team Cheese, considering of For the Win Cheese, Waffles, 420, Karen, Krios, Pride, and Arias. So that is something we can look forward to. That should be some high-octane gameplay tomorrow at Sunday, and I hope I gave you the right time. Damn it, where is it? 7 PM, yes, 7 PM tomorrow, Sunday. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.